Hey, yo, everybody did not join the military because of patriotism. Some people just like to fight, and some people like to just blow up, and then some people are thrill seekers. They like to jump out of planes and And then there's me. Hey, y'all, welcome back to my channel. I joined the United States Air Force in April of 2011, way before September 2011. Had I known that the Twin Towers would have been attacked, would I have still joined? I'm not sure. I joined the military because I couldn't afford to go to college and I wanted to be able to travel. My dead-end job was taking me nowhere and I was broke, and my grandfather and cousin were active duty, and it felt like the best option for me at the time. Just as a lot of you remember that day, that tragic day of September 11th, I was in tech school when it happened. And I remember sitting there in the classroom, teacher being pulled out, and then coming back, and all of us being rushed to one room to tune into the news. At that moment, we were able to see the second tower get hit, and I have chills just thinking about that day, as I'm sure many of you are as well. Next thing I know, we're running across the flight line to get to our dormitory to shelter in place. I just remember that day my mom and my grandmother calling me over and over and over again, "Are you going to war? Are you going to war?" I had no idea. I had no idea what would be in store for me. And that's all I could tell them. I have no idea, but rest assured that God's got me covered. Soon President Bush would declare war, and everything changed. My first deployment wasn't until 2005 when I deployed to Diego Garcia, which is in the middle of the Indian Ocean. We were on a Navy facility, but the Air Force was separated. We were on something called Camp Justice, where we all lived in tents, and we were there to support the bombers and the tankers. A lot of people look at the Air Force as the softer branch. Yes, we are bougie, but that's because we work hard. Not only do we have these, but we also have this. Not saying that other branches aren't smart. Everybody plays their role. But the bombers and the tankers did their thing while I was out there in Diego Garcia. The Air Force does a lot during war and during peacetime, okay? You all may think, there's all these chair force jokes and things like that, but I think those jokes come from ignorance and a lack of knowledge. The Air Force does a lot. Who do you think is in the air dropping missiles? Who do you think is in the air dropping bombs? Air Force. Who do you think is up in the air surveilling so that they could tell all of the guys that have boots on ground, the Army and the Marines, where to go? Because they can see from up in the sky what's going on down below. And they're passing that information from up there to down there. Okay? So don't ever sleep on the Air Force. You can call us the Air Force all you want. I'll pick up a chair. But seriously though, all of the branches of the military have something valuable. One of the things that I learned in the military was effective communication. Me and my buddy Joe was discussing this the other day, and one of the things we definitely agreed upon was we definitely learned how to effectively communicate formally and informally in the proper way through verbal, nonverbal, and written communication. One other thing that I really appreciate about the military and the Air Force specifically is the solution-based mindset that I developed being in the military. When you are in the Air Force, I can't speak for any other branch, but one thing that stands out that I learned that I take with me to this day, and I pass it along to my son, is have a solution-based mindset. You couldn't go to your superior, your NCOIC, or your officer in charge and complain about a situation. If you do complain, you better have at least one or two solutions to that problem. We're all about process improvement. When you look at all of our performance ratings, one of the main things that the leadership hones in on is process improvement. Yeah, you did there and you did your job, but what else did you do? What did you make better within your unit? What did you do to make your unit better, run faster, run smoother, cut time, save money? Did you save the military any money? Process improvement. That's one thing that I appreciate because I utilize that in my day-to-day life, and I pass that on to my son, to my nieces and nephews, and friends. I will never, ever, ever regret my decision of coming into the military. It provided a way of life that I would not have been able to obtain without it. There's just no way. Just no way. And I'm forever grateful. Lastly, I want to salute everybody that is still active duty and reserve and guard in our United States military. Thank you for all your service and all that you do. I also want to shout out all of the people who were grossly affected by 9/11 and those that are still here to mourn family and friends that lost their lives, not only in the attack, but because of the aftermaths of the attack. I salute you all. Lest we never forget. Peace.